Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're joining us today. I got my beverage. I am drinking coffee out of a mug. That's one of my favorite mugs, and it's got a little bit of Irish cream in it.
There you go.
The Irish cream in my coffee. um, Welcome, Jodi. Jodi Miller is our Milner, right?
Yep,
Is
yep,
our guest today. We're excited about
yep.
talking to her about her books. And hi, Mary, how are you doing?
I'm drinking my wine, and
Good.
Jody is
And
drinking.
Hi. A
hi.
little glass of white for tonight.
There
We're
you
Yeah,
go.
celebrating.
so we
Mhm.
can just talk and talk and
Yep, yep.
talk with our wine. I'm excited to get to know Jodi better and her writing, and we need to find out all about her writing. I'm excited to learn about her trilogy. That's she's got books behind her, and I love. Who
Yep.
does your book covers?
These ones are done by Fiona Jade Designs. Um,
Okay.
she's been really
Okay.
fun to work with. She has a great eye for fantasy.
Oh, great,
And she
great.
writes great. I mean, I've read one of the first book. I don't remember which one because I can't see
The
which
blue
ones.
one's the first
Okay,
one,
that's the one
Betrayal.
I've read.
Hmm.
And my book club read it, and we had a good time with Jody at book club because she came and joined us, and she found out how I hate boxed wine. But anyway, so anyway, tell us about your books.
Yeah, do tell us. Oh, I have a question first.
Oh,
Are
Absolutely.
you only write YA?
So this series is a YA series, but I secretly write it for suburban housewives who
mhm.
don't want to get in trouble if they leave their books out.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I think there's still a lot of adventure and drama that will keep
Mhm.
adults happy,
mhm.
but it's written with a teenage main character. That's the
Okay.
only difference.
Okay, great. Tell us
And
about this
and adults will like it. Just saying.
ride.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, tell us a little about the Stone Barrier trilogy. I haven't read any, and I'm really interested when I was looking at your website, and I thought, wow, this sounds interesting. I have been a fan of some of YAs. So, yeah, give us a little bit insight to it.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so it is a YA fantasy trilogy, and it's a coming of age, which means in the beginning, we do have a main character that's kind of trying to figure out what their life is supposed to be. And because this is a fantasy, it happens magically with a lot of adventure. And so we kick the series off where she kind of gets kidnapped. And she has to go through this how do I survive this? All while discovering things about herself that she didn't realize were a thing. And so the whole book is about discovery and her finding this magical side of the world that she didn't believe actually existed. She always thought it was a legend.
Mm,
And so moving through the series, the second one is the Cielo one. It's Apprentice, Stonebearer's Apprentice. Um, tiny spoiler, but you probably figured out because she's the main character in 3 books. Her story keeps going and the magic keeps going.
mm,
And she discovers that she is actually part of this magical legacy. She goes to a stronghold that has been like the castle of these stone bearers, and she goes there to train. And so the second one is kind of a defending the castle story where they're there. She's trying to learn how to control this magic that's new and scary to her. And all of a sudden, the castle is under threat from magical attack. It's the same bad thing that happened in the first, but now the nasty lady is doing different mean things in the second. Because
oh,
our big nasty mean lady, I had so much fun writing her.
They're
Because
fun.
if you can't have a good villain, then
Yeah.
oh, she's mean.
Mhm.
wow. So is a stone bearer a castle? Is that the name of the castle?
I get in trouble because I make up words for fantasy, and so you're totally fine. So a stone bearer is a person who bears a magical stone.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
do you remember the story of Sisyphus? There's a and it's either Roman or Greek, and I've never been good at which one was which. But there's a story of Sisyphus who had to push a stone up a mountain. And there's this idea, that was his burden because he had transgressed against something big, probably a minor god. He probably made somebody very big and important, very angry. And so his punishment was to push a stone up a mountain. And then there's also the metaphor of a millstone around your neck.
Right.
And so the idea of a stone bearer is that they have a stone that allows them to use their power, but it also signifies that they're immortal, and there's this great weight that comes with being one. And so there's our tiny little jaunt into symbology. We'll come right back to the story.
Sounds really interesting.
It is, yeah.
You're also into dragon stories, aren't you?
I have several dragon short stories.
I love dragons.
So and there was like 2 years where that was the short stories that ended up happening for anthology calls. I'm just like, I just wrote 4 different random dragon stories, and I love dragons. I think dragons are really cool. I actually just picked up a new piece of artwork, and I haven't framed it yet, so it's still sitting next to me on my desk. But hang on, you gotta see how cute this is. This is a tangent, but you see this cute little guy?
Yeah.
Anyway, local Utah artist. His stuff is down at the Southtown Mall. They have a Utah Arts Alliance exhibit. All sorts of really cool stuff. But I saw that, I'm like, you're coming home with me.
Yep. Now I have a question about your dragon short stories. So you put them into anthologies, but do you ever plan to do a whole book of short stories about dragons, or of just your own?
If I get enough of them, then yeah, I think I would pull them in their own little collection. Yeah, I don't quite have enough to make it make sense to put them in a book. But down the line, should I happen to accrue enough of these short stories that kind of make sense to go together, then that's a natural next step.
Now, so you do the young adult, the stone series, and then you do dragons. What else do you do?
Well, I just started something really brand new, and I'm actually super excited that we're doing this interview today because the first episode of my brand new podcast dropped today. So Candace J. Thomas is a good buddy of mine, and she's been wanting to do this podcast forever, and she got an opportunity to work in a recording studio, and she's like, all right, we're going to do it. We're going to do a podcast now. And so the two of us through this whole summer have been figuring out how to do a podcast. And so it is called Squirrel, the podcast for distracted writers.
That's me.
I know, right? Everyone identifies with this because my pet peeve is I will listen to a writing podcast, and the people there, like every single one of them are these established professionals where their day job is writing. And I can't relate to not have, to having 6 hours to figure out how to do the writing business because I've got kids at home and I've got all this other stuff on my plate that it's like all these things need your attention. How do you get the writing done? And how do you do it in a way that you don't lose your mind? And so we started this podcast. So we put 3 episodes out just so if someone stumbles on it on the first day, they're like, they don't get the 15 minutes and then they're like, but where's more? So
you will have to give me the access link or whatever, and I will post that to the group, and I'll make sure it's on the YouTube also. So if somebody stumbles on it, and
that would be terrific.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I'll get that.
Congratulations on that.
So I'm excited about it, just because I've never done podcasting before, so it was a new learning opportunity for me, and there was a lot of learning that happened. We're still figuring some things out.
Yeah, is it going to be like on Spotify? Oh, sorry, Judy.
Yes. Okay. I think you'll have a good voice for it. Though. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I would love to say that this is a sultry little easy listening.
Yeah.
Eventually I would love to try doing my own audiobooks as well, but I know that's again another skill set. And
Yeah,
where do you find the time?
yeah,
How
yeah.
many children do you have?
What did
I
you
have
say?
3 kids,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
and the oldest is 17, the youngest is 11. And the middle kid is 15 and has a driver's permit.
Oh
oh,
boy.
that's scary.
Yes, I found a new gray hair. I know it's
Yep.
hard to imagine, but yes, I found one.
Yeah.
So do you work outside the home?
I do not. I
Okay.
used to, but
Mhm.
between maintaining the kids and maintaining this business, that's a lot.
It
It
is.
is a lot.
It is a lot.
I
Yeah.
do have a private consulting sub business, so I help authors who are scared of technology figure out technological stuff, figuring out how to do their newsletters, how to run Amazon ads, how to do all the stuff that has buttons.
Okay.
Because if you didn't grow up with a lot of that, then a lot of it's got a fear factor to it, and so
Right.
I find hand holding is nice.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty technical savvy, except for there are still problems that you run across, and you still have to call Amazon and you still have to call other places, but I'm pretty good at it. I know just enough to usually get me in a lot of trouble. So there we
So
go.
do
You
you
know
have,
enough to be dangerous then.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
right,
like it.
enough to be in trouble? I would be,
yeah.
you know. Do you get up in the mornings and write in the mornings or afternoon or in the evenings, or do you have a set time to write?
I know I do my best writing in the morning. Finding time in the morning can be very challenging. And in the summer, when we don't have the schedule that's kind of forced by having school, it's even more challenging.
Oh, yeah,
So,
I'm sure. Yeah.
so I try to get like, I've been listening to the Daryl Daily, which is not anything for writers. It's like for young entrepreneurs, but he talks about the power 3 hour morning block where
Mm,
you don't allow yourself to get distracted by small things like, you don't check your email. You don't do the little stuff. You do the stuff that's going to shift things for you. So you do your drafting. I also do that time where I will spend some time journaling. I will spend some time studying and reading, just to keep myself on top. Um, and so I'll try to do a 3 hour block. Will I get interrupted? Of course, because I have to feed people. But I try to get that done with minimal interruptions, because if I start like playing my phone games, which I have a tiny addiction to, then like it feels like I'm behind the rest of the day.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like the drive to get back to whatever little character you've left in peril, um, is too strong.
yeah.
So I try to get my stuff done earlier.
I have a question about journaling. I have never understood journaling. What do you journal? People who professionally journal, I kind of understand, but like writers, we write all the time. What do you journal?
It's and journal, I think, is weight. Like a lot of us have this preconceived weight of what it's kind of supposed to be. For me, it's
Yeah.
like a brainstorming for my life session where I'm just like, I'm having this weird problem right now, and I'm not quite sure what to do about it. I get really tired in the afternoons, and lately I've been really, really angry about this specific thing, and I try to kind of psychoanalyze myself and figure out,
Oh,
is
okay.
there a way to solve this that is going to bring peace or bring more functionality, or maybe find a different way to approach a problem. And so doing that first thing in the morning before the brain is like kind of overwhelmed, the solutions to weird problems tend to happen better.
Okay.
So I use that as a brainstorming solutions for all the weird stuff that happens in my life, because I've got a lot of weird stuff that happens in my life.
See,
That's
to
like,
a point, everybody does.
we do. So you belong to the League of Utah Writers?
I do.
You do. yeah, Mary, and there is, I'm living in Arizona now, so I'm out of the loop when it comes to what's going on there in Utah. And I know that there's an event coming up that Mary's been involved in. And are you involved in that too as well, or attending it?
Yes, I am involved. That's the Quills Conference. It is in, oh goodness, it is in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And I'm
Actually,
teaching,
it's next week.
oh goodness, really?
Yes, next
Ooh,
Thursday.
I've got prep to do.
Yeah.
So all the classes I'm giving are classes I've given before, which
Yes.
is nice because doing one you've never done before in front of an audience that has high expectations, no pressure at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made that mistake a few times. But I have 3 classes I'm teaching. I can't remember what they are right now, but they're good
Okay.
ones.
They're good.
And
I should pull up my schedule because I'm volunteering for a lot of the classes. I don't think I am any of yours, but I'm doing like boot camp. They have boot camp for indie authors. I'm doing that one. And then a forensic science, of course, I'm going to do
oh yeah,
that.
that will be a good one. So I'm one of the faculty on the indie boot camp.
Oh, are you? So you'll
Yeah.
be there. I'll
And
see.
so it's me and Cody Langill and Willow Becker are all leading the indie boot camp, where we're kind of giving a, down in the mud, this is exactly what you need to publish your book or someone else's book, because it's focusing for either people who want to start a small press or want to be their own small press or just self-publish. There's the different varieties of all of that. So
Now I need
Wow, sounds great. Our time is up. I hate to cut us off because this is going so well. I'm learning so much, and I wish you guys really enjoy the event coming up. Yeah.
Thank you. I think we will. I have one more thing. Are you president of the Ochre Writers chapter?
I am. I have been for quite a while now.
Okay.
I'm hoping to pass the torch eventually, but
okay. So
we'll
anyway,
see.
so she is that too. I'll make sure everything's in the post. Okay.
Jodi, it's been fun talking to you.
It's been delightful.
Enjoyed hearing about your books. They sound fantastic. And we'll see you again around. Okay.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions for Jodi? Don't forget to go to our Facebook and just ask.
And she should be there from 7 to 8 tonight for any questions or anything. See you later.
Jodi.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.